Hey guys, Tyler Berger here with Bass Fishing HQ, and the big question that everybody's asking right now is, should certain fishing electronics be banned? I'm talking about Garmin Live Scope, stuff that's forward facing that you can see. Should it be banned? Is it a really big advantage? Does it help? Does it hurt? What's going on? Today I'm gonna answer some of those questions. Stay tuned, it's gonna be a good one. So before we get too far into the video, I want you guys to know that this is my opinion, okay? This might not be your opinion, it might be someone else's opinion, but regardless, I am gonna ask that you put your opinion down in the comments below during this video. So let me know what you think. Do you think that this stuff should be banned? Do you think it shouldn't? Let's get into it. Let's find a better place to sit. So if you guys been watching Bassmaster recently, you've seen that not only in Bassmaster, but even in the Bassmaster Opens and FLW tournaments, that forward-facing technology like Garmin Live Scope has really been dominating some tournaments. Now, not every tournament does it work really well for, but it seems like the tournaments that it works, if you're not doing it, you could be fishing for second place. A recent Open that I fished on Lake Hartwell was really this way. In the most recent Bassmaster Elite tournament on Lake Fork, we saw Patrick Walters catch like 5,000 pounds over second place and absolutely obliterate the field using a Garmin Live Scope system and really just catching bass that other guys weren't. And it begs the question, people have been asking a lot over the last year, should this technology, this forward-facing live technology, should it be banned from tournaments? Should there be some sort of cap like NASCAR where you're only allowed a certain amount of technology? And there's a lot of people that don't really like that technology. And so here's the thing, and hear me out, whether you do like this technology, whether you don't like this technology, I think I'm gonna make a good point for both sides of the fence here. And so, do I think that this technology, this forward-facing live technology like Garmin Live Scope should be banned? And the answer is no. I do not think it should be banned. Absolutely not, 100%. And whether you like the technology and know how to use it or you don't, if you hear me out here, I think you're gonna understand why it can benefit both of you. Not just the person who knows how to use it, but the person who doesn't like to use it. And here's the thing, hear me out. With bass fishing, we always see some sort of trends in bass fishing, right? We see a lure sometimes come about. For instance, the chatterbait. When the chatterbait first came out, literally the people that knew about the chatterbait and were throwing it, the Brian Thrifts of the world, they were dominating tournaments with this lure, right? It was something the bass hadn't seen, and the bass were absolutely being dominated. Well, as years and years and years kept going, guess what? Everybody picked up on the chatterbait. It started to be, tournaments started to be won with the chatterbait. People started to buy chatterbaits. It has literally won tons of tournaments. People are making a lot of money. It literally, it works well in clean water, dirty water. It is a phenomenal bait. Everybody knows that. But here's the point, is that now that the chatterbait has been so dominant, people have forgotten about lures like a spinnerbait, okay? And guess what? In the recent years, a spinnerbait is starting to really come back. Because why? Because all these fish have seen a chatterbait. They know a chatterbait. Everyone throws a chatterbait. It's easy to throw, but guess what? They haven't seen as much of a spinnerbait, okay? And the spinnerbait, this old school lure that used to be dominant, is now starting to really come back, and people are starting to do really well again with the spinnerbait. How does this all relate to Garmin Live Scope? It's not a lure, it's a technology. Well, it's the same thing is going to happen, right? Right now, we're kind of on the front edge of live scope and forward-facing live technology really happening. Yeah, people have been using it for years and years now, but people are starting to see it more and more right now as tournaments are starting to be dominated by it. Okay, so obviously the people who know this technology, have this technology, and can use this technology are gonna be at a big benefit. We saw Patrick Walters at this last tournament have a huge benefit because he was focusing on these fish that no one else was really able to focus on and really be efficient when he was out there. Now, guess what? as more and more people start to use this technology, as more and more people start to use it, to learn it, to buy it, and pretty soon everyone's gonna have it. Just like the chatterbait, pretty soon everybody's gonna have this type of technology. Now, Garmin LiveScope has the market right now, but I believe Humminbird and Lowrance are all gonna have something similar coming out in the very recent future. You may be watching this in the future and they may have something out. So everyone's gonna have their own forward-facing live technology that they have and can utilize, okay? So as people start to learn it and as people start to develop it, guess what? Guess what's gonna happen? Everyone's going to be wanting to use this technology, and guess what? People are gonna forget about. They're gonna forget how to skip a dock and catch a bass. They're gonna forget how to flip a lay down. Okay, they're not necessarily going to forget these things, but the point is that everyone is gonna be so focused on using the forward-facing technology and how it can help them, which it will, that people are gonna forget about the basic bass fishing. Real quick, before we get into any more of the video, I want you guys to just go check out ColumbusBarrelCo.com. I'm leaving a link in the description, right? And you can get awesome hats. Check out this bass hat. This is an actual piece of bourbon barrel wood that's on this hat. How cool is that, right? I'm gonna leave a link in the description. If you use the coupon code BASS25, that's BASS25, you're gonna get 25% off an awesome hat like this. Link is in the description, check it out. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. People are gonna go to a lake, they're gonna go offshore, they're gonna try to find these offshore schools and these suspended fish that aren't being fished for, and they're gonna forget about skipping a dock or flipping a lay down or throwing a spinnerbait down a grass edge. That's just the way that this is gonna work. So whether you like this technology and you're for it, then guess what? Learn it, use it, learn how it can benefit you. And guess what? As more and more people do that for you, the bank beater, or maybe the person who doesn't like this technology, it's gonna open up a lot of water for you. And as more and more people fish for those fish and those fish get beat up, guess where they're gonna go? They're gonna go back to the bank. They're gonna go back to those places where you can catch them just fishing. You don't need all the technology to skip a dock. You don't need all the technology to flip a lay down. Those people are gonna benefit in the future, and it's all going to even out. This is just the way things work. Again, it's very similar to the way a chatterbait came on the scene, right? A chatterbait came on the scene dominant. Now guess what? The spinnerbait is starting to be very dominant, and the spinnerbait can be even more dominant than a chatterbait in certain situations. It's gonna be the same thing with LiveScope and those forward-facing technologies. Whether you like to use it, just do you. Every bass fisherman specifically has their own style, and if you focus on that style, you can do it and you can beat everyone else by focusing on your style, whether that's offshore, whether that is on the bank, whether that's in between now, suspended fish. You see, what happens with the live scopes of the world is it opens up a whole new fish, right, for people to fish for. Before, you pretty much had offshore fish and you have shallow fish, right? You have some in between, but now you have shallow fish, you have deep fish, but you also now have suspended fish that people can target. So instead of people, if you have a, say for instance, if you have a tournament that has 200 boats in it, and now you say you have 100 guys fishing shallow, 100 guys fishing deep, but guess what? Now with LiveScope, you have this other group of fish. And as more and more people start to learn how to catch this suspended fish, this fish that the LiveScope helps them to catch, now instead of having 100 people shallow, 100 people offshore, you're gonna have, we'll say it's a dead even split. You're gonna have 67 people fishing shallow, 67 people fishing offshore, and another 67 now are fishing for that suspended fish. So you see how now it actually benefits everyone, because we're opening, the LiveScope opens up a whole new territory that people have never really fished for. So again, that's gonna draw a crowd there. And that's gonna bring people off the bank. That's gonna bring people off offshore schools. Do you see what I'm saying? It literally benefits everyone when you do this. You're literally showing people a new group of fish to fish for. So I hope that you guys understand this. This is what I think is definitely going to happen. Like, again, our eyes are being open to the advancements of technology and the way it can help you catch fish every single day. And I think it's really going to open up everything. Yeah, it might take a year, 2, 3 years for people to all get there, but eventually everyone's gonna have the same technology because we're all bass fishermen. We all spend outrageous amount of money to catch little green and brown fish and spotted bass and things like that. We spend outrageous money to do that, and it's just evening out everything, okay? The John Coxes of the worlds, the Randy Blockett's of the worlds, the guys who like to fish shallow, guess what? This technology might be really hard to compete with for a number of years, but guess what? In a couple of years, when everything starts to even out and we start to learn and understand, that's gonna open up the bank, right? That's gonna open up the docks. You're not gonna have as much pressure up there. And a lot of those fish that are now receiving pressure that are suspended or offshore, they're gonna go to the shallows, okay? It's all going to even out, okay? That's the simple truth. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you agree with me, give me a thumbs up. If you don't agree with me, don't give me a thumbs down, but just let me know what you think in the comments, right? Tell me what you think in the comments. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I'm Tyler Berger. Subscribe to the channel below. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video.